Don't wait for me.
Don't wait.
Just because the salaries, the starting salaries are a little faster than the incumbent salaries.
All right, thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Said, hey, David, come see these people. Was it PCIV that called your company and they said,
Yeah,
oh,
I think
David will do
they-
it if
they-
David's interested?
Yes, because they used to try to find companies to pair people up with, if I remember right. And the woman that ran it, she was an executive director.
Gail.
Gail.
Gail, she
Yes.
still runs it.
She okay. No, it's still around.
Yeah,
Okay, I
it
didn't
is.
even realize
It's
that.
called something else now, but it is absolutely still exists. And
Great,
she's-
great program.
Yeah.
I thought, and I was obviously always interested in international
So
business.
you were a mentor there for this program?
Yes, and they would
Oh.
bring people in and pair you up, and then you take them back to your
So
business
you were a
and show them
teacher
what
for
you
my
did.
mom.
Yes.
Cooperation it was. Internship.
And right, internship. Yes.
Did you spend more than a couple days together? Was it just one day or it was several days?
Couple.
Oh, it was a couple
Just-
days.
just couple days.
Yeah, I
Couple
remember.
days.
And then we all got together for like a big program. Didn't they have like ceremonies
Like a
and stuff
picnic
like
or
that?
something
Yeah.
at the
Picnics.
end of it. Yeah,
Yeah, it was really,
absolutely.
really well done. It
Yeah,
was.
they do a good job.
And they got a lot of prominent business people from the area that would come
Mhm.
and participate, and and you make those ties. Look, 20 years later, we're still talking. Isn't that great? Study program. So she got a scholarship to come to Slippery Rock, and I met her a couple of times, and she was studying business, and she spoke 5 languages, like you
Wow.
guys,
Wow.
lots of languages, and her mom was a doctor, and back in Russia, and so she said, well, I want to come back. And I said, okay, well, if I can help you come back. Well, for the next 3 years, I sponsored her to come back to the United States. And I would never meet with her because she'd go to D.C. because she had a lot of friends, a lot of Russian friends down there. And so she'd always pick up work. She'd always send me pictures. She was traveling somewhere, and so she was always busy. So a couple years later, I know she loved the French language. So naturally, she married a French guy, right?
Cool.
So, and so I
Alright.
get this. It's the same last name. Her last name is Yeats, Jetz.
Yeats.
Yeats.
Mhm.
She marries another guy, same last name.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yes. Yes, from France. And so I go, boy, that's kind of odd, isn't it? Yeah, but so she loved the language, so she had a passion, so she made it a mission, and I'm sure that's what it was. But anyways, the dad, he's president of Tyco, which is a big international corporation over there.
Her husband's father?
Yeah,
Tyco.
The dad,
Mhm.
yes, Tyco. And then the dad's best friend is vice president of L'Oreal, the big cosmetic company. Both fluent English, so we're sitting at the main table, right? So I said to my wife, I said, we got to go. I said, hey, how often you get invited to, a wedding,
Yeah.
in France?
Oh, in France.
And I go,
You gotta go.
so I said, we got to go. So we planned a, vacation around it, and then
Yeah,
ended up
that's
in
fun.
Paris.
Nizza.
Yeah, so we ended up in Paris,
Uh-huh.
and then they got married in Reims. It's the Champagne district of
Wow.
France.
Okay.
So big house. It's real nice, and horse carriage to the hall. I mean, it was fairy tale, right?
Yeah.
So the one grandma's German, and she found out I was German. So she's trying to speak German. I know very little German, right? So we had so much fun at the table, and what a crazy whirlwind.
Wow, yeah.
So you know how the French do this, very slow eating, and it's 2 a.m. We're not finished.
Yeah.
We're not finished eating. They still haven't do dessert yet.
Yeah.
So because they would eat, take a break, dance, wine, different pairing of wines, and then take a break. I'm good.
That's a good way
Thank
to
you
do
very
it.
much.
I
It was
like
awesome.
Thank you so much.
Marry a French guy, would you?
Yeah.
Marry in Paris.
And so,
Weird.
so the next thing,
Sorry.
it's my wife can't stay awake at that
they
point.
even
She's
weirder.
like, we've been traveling. She's like, nodding off.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, we got to go. And so, but I wasn't the furthest traveled there was a kid, young guy that she grew up with in Novosibirsk that had a job in Houston,
Wow.
and he traveled from Houston, Texas, all the way to the wedding.
Wow.
So otherwise, I'd have been the furthest traveled.
That's incredible.
But how about that?
That's a great story.
So we still stay in touch. She has a couple of
And all
kids. She'd always
because of
send me
pizza.
cards,
Pizza.
all because of
pizza.
pizza.
So she
Thank
lives
you.
in France now?
She lives in Luxembourg.
Luxembourg.
Oh,
Yes.
Luxembourg. Wow.
So
This
she
is
worked for
a German-speaking country.
yes, that's right. So she spoke German as well, and she
Ich
is
spreche ein bisschen Deutsch
She's
auch.
from Jersey.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sprechen Sie Deutsch?
Ich
Sprechen
spreche ein
yes.
bisschen.
My German's as bad as my Russian. So I knew little bits and pieces, but you talk about how small the world is at that point, right? Just like our friendship now that we know each other, have known each other for 20 years. I mean, it's just amazing. So, okay, cool. Well, let's do the quick tour upstairs and down, then you can.
Don't show them the face.
Bring it back.
Yeah, that's a great
25 years
idea.
ago, he was one of the pioneers that started it again. He had an old German family recipe that they started. He's no longer living,
Yeah.
but he had gotten it going, and so.
And brewery.
Yeah.
David, thank you again.
Sure.
It was good.
Absolutely.
Keep in touch.
Absolutely. Figure that out. I'll let you know.
Potato vodka, that's local, Boyd and Blair.
Boyd and Blair.
Some of the smoothest vodka ever tasted.
Okay.
Boyd
I only tried to you.
Boyd and
Traditional
Blair.
potato.
You're welcome. Boyd and then Blair, two last names. That's a good point.
Tastes horrible yet. No, but Boyd and Blair is where it's at.
Yeah.
You want good